There is no such thing as perpetual tranquility of mind while we live here, because life itself is but motion, and can never be without desire, nor without fear, nor more than without sense. Meaning, the mind actually can never be at perpetual rest or eternal tranquility with or about itself, because obviously there is no sense of rest, pleasure, comfort in the mind. Now, even if it's there, it's temporary, momentary, anyways, because the mind is at constant war, battle, suffering, struggle with itself, with its own desires, wants, requirements, yearnings for happiness, attention, approval, fame, riches, ambition, education in its life, and also the mind is battling the internal fights of or between good and evil, right and wrong, fair and unfair, just and unjust, as to what it should do, what it should become, what it should not become, what it should achieve, what it should represent, what it obviously should possess, and so on and so forth. All these calculations, combinations, compositions constantly run within the mind, and the processing takes place in our heads. These processes and runs are always taking place in the mind, and that means the mind is never really at rest with anything. The mind can never be considered to have any pleasure, relaxation, comfort in or about itself. It can never be considered to be experiencing, pleasure, comfort, relaxation, appeasement about itself, because it always has to decide. It always has to engage in volition, decision making capacities, decisiveness, intention, reason, and many other critical faculties for our progress, growth, learning, optimization, and maximization of our potential, talent, desire, skill, knowledge, intelligence, character, wisdom, and for the achievement and development and improvement of all those qualities and faculties in our lives. The mind constantly has to work, the mind constantly and consistently has to be at work and function all the time, and it just can never have any rest of any kind until unless it dies, until unless there is death. There is also the end of everything for good, and the tranquility of mind is achieved in death and not in life, because life itself is the representation of suffering and also motion, movement, and action all the time. Life is not stagnant. It's ups and downs, motion, movement all the time, because we're constantly moving, because we're constantly acting, saying, thinking, doing something or another for our pleasure, growth, progress, learning, prosperity, and so on and so forth. And because life itself is motion and movement, and that means the mind also constantly moves for something or another, for making critical decisions, etc. So the mind has no rest at all.